If I don't start now, I'll never start at all. I made a promise to myself, don't quit, finish the project. I start living inside of Roblox Studio. Days turned into weeks. By the 4th month, I almost gave up. And when people started testing the game, their actions completely shocked me. Do you know that feeling? When you want to create something but have no idea where to start. I wanted to make a horror game that was actually scary but also fun, with more movement, energy and action. And then it hit me. What if horror but with memes? But not next bots. I wanted the memes to feel alive, with their unique powers. And the perfect place for it wasn't just a regular school, but an abandoned school from the 19th century. I called the game Meme Horror School. And this is where the nightmare begins. That's when I started planning. Gameplay, lobby and school map, NPCs, personality and ability. I started with the lobby, because it's the first thing players see. Story-wise, everything begins outdoors. A small party, nothing unusual. Nearby there's a fence and a hidden path leading to the abandoned building. I sketched out the layout and realized I couldn't keep postponing it. The lobby was done. Since the theme is a school, players get backpacks. I really liked how they turned out. I made sure they worked with different avatars and skins. I always wanted the lobby to be more than just a waiting area. A place where you can run around and just have fun. So I hid a few Easter eggs and secret spots. Jump in and see for yourself. The lobby was done. Now it was time for the main location. Because the gameplay is fast-paced, I decided to make it 3 levels, 2 floors and a basement. Hit like if you think a basement is mandatory in a game like this. This layout wasn't easy. Starting a location like this from scratch is always a risk, and this stage was tough. I deliberately avoided straight corridors. Wanted players to always feel, what's around that corner? The map had to be fun to explore and still give you a chance to escape even in a bad situation. After the layout, I moved to blockout to test scale and distances. Then came a huge amount of work. Long, complicated and a lot of revisions. It was important to keep that old school atmosphere, but also add subtle signs of recent life, like students were here recently. In the basement, I wanted to build tension with fog, but something was missing, so I added a thin white floor layer above. I thought it would enhance the fog effect. Yeah, that's better. Now it feels mysterious. The atmosphere was ready, but I didn't want to make just another horror game where you hide and wait. I stopped thinking about fear and started thinking about fun. I wanted fear to push you forward, not freeze you in place. I've got a lot of high school experience. Trust me, I only handled the important stuff. So of course I had to add sliding across the floor. But after sliding, my avatar started falling through the map. It took me a while to figure out what was wrong. Turns out it was a friction issue. I adjusted the physical properties using a custom slider, locked the physics values, and the bug was completely gone. Sliding now gives you a short burst advantage when you're running from monsters. Our school has staircases and of course handrail, and honestly you just want to slide on them. Drop a like if you love the idea of sliding down rail. So I made it part of the gameplay. I set a movement path. Activation is automatic, no extra buttons, no breaking the flow. There is one downside. If you run too close, you'll slide down by accident. But here's the big advantage. When something's chasing you, you can drop down fast without pressing anything. Old schools almost always had puddles after cleaning, and I thought this could be a mechanic. They give you a straight line speed boost, placed only in specific parts of the map, so I positioned them carefully. But then a bug. The animation kept looping after leaving the puddle. No proper forward boost, and I could still control movement like normal running, which wasn't supposed to happen. After a long debugging session, I fixed it. I added a per frame check to track the player's position, and I made sure to disconnect it so the check wouldn't run forever and kill the FPS. After that, everything worked perfectly. This mechanic makes the game more dynamic, more fun, and sliding through puddles can help you escape monsters faster. To avoid dead ends and keep the pacing strong, I added crawl spaces between classrooms. You can crouch and move through calmly, or dive in mid-run last-second escape style. There had to be hiding spots, places to catch your breath, so I placed lockers throughout the map. No cardboard boxes here, but plenty of places to hide. And desks, you can hide under them too. But avatar height varies, and that caused a problem. Taller avatars couldn't fit underneath. After trying different solutions, I came up with this. When crouching, the player's legs slightly sink into the floor to reach the right height. That way, avatars of any size can hide under desks. Now it works perfectly. Movement shouldn't just be horizontal. I wanted vertical motion too, something thrilling. So I added fans in specific parts of the map, defined the launch trajectory, controlled the landing so you fly straight into the window. If a player steps into the airflow zone, they get blown upward. It looks fun and adds dynamic gameplay, especially when a monster's chasing you and you're like suddenly on the second floor. In this school, you survive not because you hide, but because you keep moving. The whole game is split into 3 rounds. With each round, the school becomes more dangerous. In the first round, you have to restore the school's mysterious energy and collect secret diaries to uncover the lore. But if you hold on to them for too long, they disappear and respawn somewhere else. In the second round, you need to find fire extinguishers and put out the fire block in the door. But if you sprint or crouch, you'll drop it. In the third round, you must collect all the keys and unlock the door. You can carry only 1 key in each hand, and when the final key is placed, the path opens, and behind it a secret location. This is where the testers really surprised me. Instead of running around the stairs with the extinguisher, they found a way to drag it through a crawl space. That wasn't intended, but it was too cool to remove, so I kept that trick in the game. I love it when players find their own solution. That's when you know the game has started living on its own.
Coming up with a compelling location is hard, but the hardest part in Roblox Studio came after that. I had to create intelligent monsters, and one of them get out of control. He hides in the darkness, and by the end of this video, I'll show him to you. And also, during development, I genuinely started losing my mind at one point. But fun horror isn't just about the space, it's about what haunts inside it. The problem was I'm not a 3D modeler, and the monsters had to be interesting. So I'll show you the secrets of how I created them. This isn't the kind of horror where it ends with one touch. Here, every monster plays with you on its own way. This is meme horror school and 6 months of development that almost broke me. In the previous video, I explained that the game is split into rounds, and with each round, new doors unlock. And new monsters appear. When I was creating them, I felt like some kind of a mad scientist, like Frankenstein, but more on that later. The first monster is the Patrol. He constantly chases players around the map. In the lore, he's a former school security guard, so the meme had to be big and feel slow. That's why I chose him. The idea felt perfect to me. I decided to compensate for his slowness with long arms. Get over here! I'm not a 3D modeler, so I used this website to create the model, and this is what I got. His arms stretch out to catch players faster, and when a player gets grabbed, there's a chance to break free by hitting the arrow prompts, but it costs health. The monster doesn't kill you instantly, he doesn't let you relax, he forces you to keep moving. At one point, I realized something important. What scares the player isn't the monster's appearance, it's the situation that makes you panic. So for me, it's not about how it looks, it's about intelligence and behavior. And in Meme Horror School, I tried to make them feel alive and interesting. And of course, the lore. You'll have to uncover why the school staff turned into memes. But when I was testing Shiba Inu, something felt off. Sometimes it felt like he already had a mind of his own, even though it's just my imagination. At some point, I started noticing strange things. I blamed it on being tired. Probably just my imagination. This monster punishes you for running. In the law, he's the former hall monitor, the one who kept order. He loves to sleep and he carries a baton. Perfect role for him. But in my version, I gave him a blindfold, because he always trying to sleep, and anyone who runs wakes him up. If he spots you, you'd better find cover fast. He runs quickly and he hits hard. Each hit takes away 4 HP. If he loses sight of you, he starts scanning the area. That's when you should not move. If the first monster forces you to move, this one pulls you out of hiding, so players can't cap forever. In the law, he's a former student, the one who was always complaining. He fits the role perfectly. But for the lore, I changed him. Cracked glass, sharp teeth, heavy boots, and of course a backpack. He still looks familiar, but now dangerous. There will be several of these students. Most of the time they just wander around the map. If you touch them, they bite, and you lose health. If a player hides too long, for example inside of a locker, he runs in and drags the player out. Doesn't kill you but takes HP. When you work every single day without a break, you start hearing things that aren't there, and you convince yourself that everything's fine. And we need one more monster, the one who creates chaos. In the law, she was a school principal. For this role, we need something truly wild. Perfect fit. I've always liked how hunter's claws are designed. They're separated from the body. Let's do something similar. Add creepy floating claws that grab player. She appears out of nowhere in different parts of the map. You can't stare at her for too long, or she gets aggressive. And honestly, she's terrifying when she flies past you. Later, in the secret location, you'll meet even more monsters, each with their own role. But not every meme in this school is your enemy. Some of them help you. This is the waiting meme, Doom. Let's tweak him a bit to fit the law. You need to learn how to fly. Why are you spinning like that? If a player struggles to find the right item for too long, Zdun appears near it, and you can see him through any wall. Here comes the merchant. For some reason, I've always associated them with Khajiit, so we're getting our own Khajiit-style merchant. He looks cute, but he still needs to look like a merchant, so I gave him a cloak. We'll place him in the lobby near the central circle, behind a table full of items, and the final meme you'll find out soon. When I was testing the game, there were moments that gave me chills when I ran into monsters. By month 4, that knocking sound started happening more and more. I tried not to think about it and just kept working. Pushed myself to the limit. The exhaustion kept building, and at some point I stopped knowing what was real. And that's how the final meme was born. The puppeteer. He hides in the dark and watches you closely. His past is a nightmare of its own. He stays in the shadows for now. To keep up with everything, I just wanted to clone myself. More than 6 months of daily work. It felt like it would never end. I want to thank everyone supporting this project right now. It's really hard for indie developers to break into the Roblox charts. But even if this game never makes it there, what matters to me is that you enjoy it. Because first of all, I made it for you. And if I showed every single detail I worked on, this video would be several hours long. And I'm glad I made meme horror school. And I'm glad I didn't quit, even though I could have many times. Invite your friends with this button. That support means a lot to me. And in return, you'll get useful bonuses that will help you survive and make the game more fun. And let's try one crazy idea. I'm still a small channel, but if this video reaches 1000 likes, I'll add a brand new insane meme to the game, or replace an existing one with a different one. We'll choose it together with you on Discord. Thank you for watching this video. Jump into Meme Horror School, link in the description. Unless you're afraid of memes.